All right, our last section of chapter 3 is 3.12 or 3.12, credit cards. So I think it's important to talk about credit cards because almost everybody has them and uses them. Some people are afraid of them, and it's understandable because there are a lot of people that get into a lot of financial trouble using credit cards. But that's why I want to talk about it, because just knowing how they work and some things to look out for, you could save yourself from being one of those people and still enjoy the convenience and benefits of having credit cards. So credit cards are sort of like a loan, but a bank decides how much you can borrow at one time, and you don't have to ask for permission each time. You just get the initial amount, and then you can use it. You can use whatever part of that credit card or loan that you want. And the credit limit is how much the credit card company approves you for. So generally, the better your credit score, the more they're going to try to approve you for. But you can ask them to lower your limit. Credit cards usually come with a very high APR. Remember, we talked about APR earlier. It's the annual percentage rates, how much you're going to pay in interest by using that card and not paying it off. So some credit card best practices are to pay your bill early to avoid late fees, pay your entire balance each billing cycle to avoid interest charges. You can't always do that, but whenever you can, pay as much as you can on your credit card so you're not paying all that interest. And back to the paying early, most credit cards have an option to automatically take your payment each month, which is something I do because I don't want to accidentally forget to pay it and then have to pay a bunch of interest and late fees. So if you're comfortable with it and it's an option, just set it up automatic payments so you don't have to worry about it. C, pay more than once a month to lower how much interest is charged. So you don't have to pay it all in one time. You could, if you get paid twice a month, and you could pay a little bit each time you get paid. Pay more than the minimum. In fact, you want to pay all of it if you can, or as much as possible. And then only charge what you can afford. So using credit cards to buy luxury items is how so many people get in deep debt. Saving up for a time will save money in the long run, and it feels good to accomplish a goal. So example 1, credit card benefits. So there are benefits of having credit cards. I get money each month and each year just by using them, but it's all going to be nil if you don't pay them off or forget to pay them, because the interest will outweigh the benefits really fast. Discover Credit Card is advertising a 5% cashback bonus on all grocery store and restaurant purchases. Imagine that you typically charge $2,500 a month on those, or just total $2,500 a month, and 1/4 of that is grocery and restaurants. So use this information to calculate the amount of your cashback bonus. So first you want to figure out how much was spent on grocery store and restaurant purchases, and then use the cashback rate to get a bonus. So this really goes back to our chapter 1 material with percentages and rates. So first we need to find what 1/4 of $2,500 is. So you multiply the two values in your calculator, and that's $625. So this is on food, restaurants, groceries, basically food. And the credit card gives you 5% cash back on that. So we need to convert that to a decimal and multiply 625. And that comes out to be $31.25. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it's free money. You're going to spend money on, I keep messing this up. You're going to spend money on groceries and restaurants anyway. Why not have the bank pay you to do that? So, use this with a bit of caution. If you're somebody that if you have the credit card, you might just end up spending out on things that you really don't need and get into trouble with it. But if you can be responsible and only use it for things that you would normally get and get some cash back for that, why not? So as a reminder, the monthly interest rate is your APR divided by 12. So suppose, so most people don't just spend money one time in a billing cycle using their credit card. So it's not like a loan where it's like one lump sum. Credit cards, like you're going to spend $50 one day, $120 the next, etc. So it's a little more complicated to figure out what the interest charge is on credit cards. So they use what's called an average daily balance to calculate the average amount that was spent for the billing cycle. This is actually very similar to our weighted average that we did in chapter 1. I think it was chapter 1, where you're multiplying how many days by how much it is, and then you get an average for the month. Suppose your average daily balance for the billing cycle from October to November was $1,400. Your APR is 20%. How much interest will you have to pay? So remember that 20% has to get divided by 12. So that's 0.2 divided by 12, which is 1.67%. And you would want to multiply that by changing it to a decimal by the average daily balance. Now, computing average daily balance is a little complicated, and we're going to do that at the end of these notes. But for now, I'm just telling you that's what the average daily balance was. And if you multiply it by the interest rate, it's $23.33. So this is how much interest the credit card will charge. So you have to pay that $23.33 on top of what you borrowed. But if you pay it off, you don't always pay interest on credit cards. Like for instance, the ones that I have, I pay them off each month. So I don't ever pay interest unless I make a mistake somewhere. Okay, so we're kind of building up to figuring out average daily balance. So this is one part of it. Once you have the average daily balance, you can figure out the interest that you need to pay. So suppose your credit card from the last statement, this is example 3, sorry, was $749. On one occasion, you buy some video games. So we're starting with $749. That's what you already owe the credit card. But then you go ahead and you buy some video games for $109.50. So that's going to get added on to what you owe. And then you bought some clothes for $246.20. So this is like, well, typically, sometimes like with my credit cards, since I use them for everything, there's like multiple charges every day. So the statements are like 3 pages long at the end of the billing cycle. So that would be very tedious to try to figure out because there's so much going on. So we're just keeping it simple here. We're just saying there was like 4 purchases. What's the new balance? On another, you go out to the Mexican Grill and treat your friends for a grand total of $97.65. And then you make a payment. So payments get subtracted off from what you owe. So it wants to know what is your new balance. We're not factoring interest here, just the base balance. So if you add and subtract all of this together, the new balance is $952.35.